What's good,
What's
man?
going on, man?
It's high now, right? It's not Kurama, it's high.
It's Hiei Midtown, bro. Yeah.
Okay, that's dope. That's dope. That's dope.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, man, I'm a big fan of your videos, man. You're doing your thing. I hear you. Um,
Absolutely.
I just wanted, just to chat with you for a few minutes,
Yeah.
about, about this gynocentric society full of misandry.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like the man, the heterosexual masculine man, whether he's black or white, whatever, he has to really, get settled. As you said before, and one of my favorite videos by you is "Kill the Boy Inside You."
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like we got to really just like fight our way because it's a war battleground. Against the heterosexual masculine man, in the western part of the planet.
Oh, yeah.
However, dude, the East, can we like escape to the East? Because the East is slowly getting Americanized. You look at Japan, China, you look at Saudi Arabia, you know what I mean, which makes up like 90% of the Middle East. The Grand Prince, MSB, he's changing everything over there. He even said that all humans are equal and the same. You know what I mean? Like everything is getting so radically changed to like far leftism in the Middle East. It's crazy.
I hear you. I was thinking about that today actually because I actually got fired from my job today.
I hear you.
So I had a lot of time to think about that, and there was some bitches involved in how I got fired. Um,
Mhm.
but I was thinking about that. I'm like, you know what, man? I shouldn't have to work that hard to go overseas and like potentially find a good woman. And here's the thing. It might take me 10, 20 years to get rich enough to where I can go overseas. And God knows how feminized the East will be by then. So I'm like, you know what? I thought about it. I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. If it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Um, all I have to do, the beautiful thing about being a man or a midtown man or whatever, all you have to do is just not get married and have kids, and you'll pretty much be all right. Like that's like nothing else can really financially sink you. As long as you don't marry, especially in America, and have kids in America, you can pretty much fuck up anything else and come back from it. I made a joke this one time with this married guy at my job. I told him, because he was like complaining about how he has 3 daughters and a wife and a mortgage and how he has to keep showing up to this fucking slave job. And I told him, I'm like, bro, I could shoot myself once in both feet and then limp into work tomorrow, and I'd still be better off than you are in life with your wife and
I hear you.
kids. And he was laughing his ass off. He's like, fuck, bro, you're right. Like, I could literally pull out a pistol, shoot myself once in each foot, and come into work on crutches tomorrow. And I'd still be in a better position than this guy with his 3 daughters who are like going into college and his bitch wife who he said he hasn't had sex with in like 10 years.
Hmm. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
But like, I want to be in a society that respects heterosexual masculine man and actually appreciates what he does, for the world. It's about history. You know what I mean? Like, I think that in that kind of nation, and so like I hear it, you know what I mean? Like we will survive nonetheless as long as we like intelligent, regardless in what kind of nation that we're in, as individuals.
Yeah.
However, I want to be in the right kind of nation that does appreciate the heterosexual masculine man, period. You know what I mean? So like it's not even so much about how, like you said, I agree with you, like we can survive, as long as you know how to maneuver through all this, the sandry and all, and all this bullshit. But I want to be in the right kind of nation. Like I want to have like the right kind of element around me. Because at the same time, I still want that house on the prairie. You know what I mean? And I cannot have it in the western part of the planet, nor in the east.
Here's the thing, bro. Life doesn't give a fuck about what you or me wants. If you want that little house on the prairie, your only chances are maybe the Middle East or maybe an Asian country, if there are still any that are still patriarchal. And the thing is, we don't know if they're going to stay that way in the next 10, 20 years. Technology allows women in the Middle East to see how disgusting women in America are and copy their behaviors. So we don't know in 20 years if going to the Middle East would even be a good option. So I'm starting to, it really hit me today. I don't know why it really hit me today when I got fired. I'm like, you know what? There's no fucking guarantees in this life. this big dream that I'm working for might be taken away from me. So I need to be ready to lose it all. Like I need to be comfortable accepting the fact that there's a possibility that even going overseas might not work for me. And I need to be content with knowing that I'll never get married and have kids because this world is too fucking toxic to do it. And here's the thing about me. And I was talking to my mom about this today too, actually. I told her, I'm like, look, I don't give a fuck about myself. You can spit on me. You can call me a fucking sand nigger. You can stab me. I don't give a fuck about my life, right? As men, we don't really give a fuck about ourselves. But if I had a kid, right? If I had a little version of myself that I loved more than I love myself, and I see him going through the shit I'm going through, or if I had a daughter, a little version of myself, a little female version of myself that I love more than I love myself, and I see the world treating him or her as shitty as it treats me, I would lose my fucking mind. Like I would want to literally like destroy all the people that are fucking with my kid because I can handle
get worse, right?
I can handle this cold fucking feminist racist piece of shit country that I live in. I can handle it because I don't give a fuck about my own life, right? But it would kill me to see a little version of myself going through all the same shit I went through, and I don't have the power to protect them, especially if it's a son. I don't have the power to protect him from this shit because I can barely protect myself. So I'm like, you know what? I might just have to get used to the fact that I'm not gonna fucking have kids, bro. I have no power here. His mom can rip him away from me. He's gonna go through all the shit I went through, and I don't know that he's gonna have the heart to get through it the way I do. I've seen tons of like tough people that have kids, and their kids just come out weak as fuck, and they can't handle just the everyday aspects of life. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. If I'm not gonna have it, I'm not gonna have it. And strangely, a huge burden was lifted off me like this because this dream I had to go to the Middle East and get the wife and the kids, that was putting a lot of pressure on me because I'm like, fuck, I gotta get rich, I gotta get rich. And then every little hiccup in life was like extremely stressful. But after I kind of just let all that shit go and accepted the possibility that, you know what, it might just not happen. This world is becoming too toxic. I might just have to chill out for the rest of my life and just do what makes me happy and basically be like a grown man child. I'm like, you know what? That sounds pretty damn good. I can live with that. And strangely, the weight was lifted off me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Thank you. I mean, there's one more thing I also want to mention real quick as well.
What's up?
This whole thing about religions. With me, I'm actually a monotheistic person. So I believe that that the Bible, the Torah, and the Quran all correlate together as one.
Yeah.
Whether you call God as Allah, Jehovah, Yahweh. So with me is that I don't know what it is, man, because I'm looking. I go to say Christian, non-Catholic Christian churches, and I'm looking at what's going on, and I go to this one in in New York State, and they have all this gynocentrism just filled in with it. You know what I mean? There's just this thing called a women's conference, and yet it's the man up there preaching. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's such a sticky situation, and I want to find that right kind of church, and I know marrying a woman who's religious based on your religion video, that a woman that you marry always has that option to just snap her fingers like Thanos and just suck all of your resources out, because that's the kind of power that she's given in this western part of the planet, regardless of how feminine she wants to initially portray herself. You know what I mean? So that's really messed up. But when it comes to following God, I know that I can follow God on my own, but what about the right kind of church that's not filled with a bunch of gynocentrism, because it's literally everywhere.
I see what you mean. Yeah, I mean, dude, like I said, I've just come to terms with it. I'm like, all right, dude, if you want men to have no power, if you want a fucked up society, you can have it. I don't give a fuck anymore. Enjoy your miserable fucking society. All the women out there, I don't even blame the women. That's the sad thing, because they don't know what the fuck they're doing. They're just pawns, but it's I was thinking about this too. And, I told my mom about this. I'm like, Mom, me getting fired from my jobs and shit because of some complete bullshit and because of female influence. When shit like this happens, when society throws men under the bus, it really just hurts the women more than the men, because men we don't have this huge biological clock ticking that says we have to have kids by 30. We have to have the strong, stable husband by age 30. Like a man, we could be like, you know what? I might, bust a nut and have a kid. I might not. If it doesn't happen, I don't really care. We don't really care. But
Copy.
women, women need us so much more than we need them. And
Yeah,
when
yeah.
society throws men under the bus, and makes it so that we can't even afford to provide for women, and we're not even respected for doing it, so we have to walk away. That hurts the women way more than the men, because the men, we can chill. It's as long as we have a couple cool guy friends, a couple video
Yeah.
games, some fucking
Mhm.
McDonald's, we're like the happiest fucking campers on earth. Women require so much more out of life. They need a
I hear
strong,
you.
stable
I
man
hear
at
you,
all
bro.
times. They need a strong, see, when you're the strong person and you've been trained not to lean on anyone like men, we can stay to ourselves and be fine. Every time I'm going through something, I can give myself all the advice I need to get through it because I'm the strong one. But women don't have that. And when you take the men
Yeah.
away in society, women
Mhm.
lose their fucking minds, no matter how many college degrees they have, no matter how many high level corporate jobs they have, because they need a
No matter
strong
how many preferential job opportunities, affirmative action, all that crap. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I
So it
hear.
fucks the women
Yeah.
over way more because just for her psychological well being, she needs a strong man in her life. And when she doesn't have that, she loses her fucking mind and engages in self destructive behavior. Whereas men, we kind of just chill when we're on our own, maybe save our money, maybe get a piece of ass from time to time. So it's really hurting women way more than us because we can adapt to this. Women cannot adapt to this society, and you're seeing it. You're seeing them self destruct. So I'm like, all right, dude. Like America, like I'm talking to America here. I'm like, keep treating me like shit. Keep taking my jobs away. All this is doing is fucking my future wife over. Not saying I'd ever get married here, but let's pretend I'm like the average guy who would. All you're doing is
Yeah.
fucking guys' future wives over. You're not fucking over the guy. You're fucking over their future wives. And the women don't even know it right now. They're still clueless, but they always learn. It always hits them eventually.
Mhm. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, see, but it's so crazy because that proves it's proven even more. Because I'm not saying somebody has to be heterosexual or homosexual. That's their business. That's their own sexual preference, regardless of what it is. But when I'm out here and I'm looking at what's going on in the street, and it's like, like your typical couple of gay men is always happy and all that.
Yeah.
But yet, on average, every single lesbian couple that I see out here, they're miserable. It's so ironic. You
Yeah,
feel me?
yeah, you know why? Because
Mhm.
women and Warren Lance, my mentor Warren Lance, he talks about this. Women, a man has a certain light about him. Like when a man and woman spend time together, the woman enjoys it so much more than the man because men, we radiate energy, we radiate power, we radiate we just radiate a lot of masculine traits that are like the ultimate drug for women. They get the greatest high off it. Yeah, as men, we kind of get a high off of women's femininity, the few women that still have it, but it's nothing compared to the value that a woman sees in us. And women never admit this shit, but they do. They see so much
Of
more
course.
value in you than you see in them, right? So two lesbians, they can't have that. A woman who acts like a man cannot. She can't fake having that same light, that same energy, that same masculinity that a man can. See, two men with each other, two gay guys, yeah, they can enjoy each other because they both have their own little light. They both have their own energy, and the men are more physical with their attraction. So as long as the dude has like a good looking ass, he's happy to fuck him. But with women, they require so much more to be happy in a relationship, and another woman cannot give her that. She's just as
Hmm.
empty as the other woman. Women are empty vessels, right? Until a man fills
Hmm.
them with light. A dyke
Hmm.
can't give that to another woman. It's two empty fucking
Yeah.
bottles.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, as much as the woman wants to, and they're not even women anymore. They're like little men out here. As much as the female wants to embrace masculinity, it's unnatural. That's why it never works out for
Of
them.
course, of
Yeah.
course.
I mean, like just to switch gears a little bit, you look at the elite. Like the elite knows better. Like the elite has access to biometrics. They're using they're using our ignorance of natural law against them. Now we know better. You know what I mean? But just overall people. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
like they know that only a society can stand on a patriarchy. A matriarchal society never stood on its own 2 feet because it can't work out naturally. You know what I mean?
right.
So that's why they're shoving even though it's still technically a patriarchy because the elite is just a bunch of, like white male trillionaires in the shadows, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, Bloomberg, all them.
Yeah.
That's why they're shoving these matriarchal elements within the western part of the planet, because automatically America is on its way of moving inward into itself. So it's like the elite just wants to like cause a bunch of chaos and wants to put out all these factors of depopulation, because I feel like in the West, they just want to eradicate everything completely so they can re-upbuild, and just regenerate everything from the ground up, so that they can have one language, one government, one all this. But like they know a matriarchal society cannot stand on its own two feet. So when they shove these matriarchal elements down people's throats, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not going to work out. And it's so obvious with all these double standards. I would feel like, like the family courts are heavily anti-male. You look at affirmative action, the black people are always grouped together in affirmative action, but yet the black woman has specific affirmative action, not the black man. You look at people complaining about white privilege, and they automatically bring up the white male. They never bring up the white female.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the truth. And like I said, when you throw the man under the bus, all you're doing is fucking over the women, because men, we adapt, we learn how to survive, learn how to buy. Women can't do any of this shit without us. And when the government pulls away its resources from all the single moms and shit, woo, you're in for a fucking rude awakening.
In a snap.
Oh God!
Goodness.
See, here's the thing, bro.
Crazy.
Here's the thing, bro. Women never stopped depending on men. They went from working class men to relying on the government. So society threw the working class men under the bus, told them to go fuck themselves, and then women are like, okay, it's all right because I can still rely on the government, right? So what happens when that government turns off that water faucet, and now all single men walked away, or are just too broke to commit to you, or they don't trust you, and now daddy government turns off the water also, so there's no money coming from him. You're gonna fucking starve.
Yeah, I hear you.
Mm-hmm. That's just that. Yeah. Women still rely on men all the time. It's just the government instead of the average man. But women cannot get by without relying on men. Even when a woman goes to get a job, bro, she goes to work for a company that was started by a man. Everything she does revolves around support from a man.
I hear you, bro.
And that's just that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's natural law. Like,
absolutely. But I gotta let you go, man. I'm trying to take some other calls. All right.
Thank you, man, for the talk.
Yeah, talk to you soon.